So I recently read a story in the Red Tractors book. By the way, if you haven't seen this yet, you really need to. It's very, very well done. Anyway, story about this Arizona crop duster who saved Case IH's bacon back in February of 1985. But to get the full connection, though, let's step back to Thanksgiving week of 1984. If you're a Red guy or a Case guy for that matter, you know what happened that week. That was the week the companies announced the merger. Shortly thereafter, Harvester hosts a meeting down in Dallas with their key dealers to talk about the new company vision and how this was all going to work going forward. And outside the hotel, they've got this Case row crop tractor. And in his opening remarks to this group of dealers, Tenneco CEO Jim Kettleson refers to that tractor out front, and he says there's going to be more of that Case white paint represented throughout this model line as we move forward. And that goes over pretty much like a lead balloon, as you can well imagine. The whole crowd starts booing the guy, and, it didn't go well. Now, I don't think that leadership really brushed that off per se, but I think they may have discounted it a little bit because they knew that crowd might be a little bit hostile. What they didn't see coming, though, was what happened later on that evening after some dealers got together, either over dinner, drinks, or, whatever. Anyway, at the end of the night, there was a letter that was drafted and signed by a few of them that basically said, if those tractors that we are selling going forward aren't IH Red, you can consider this our resignation. We're done. And signed, sealed, and delivered, and lo and behold, that worked. Between the response to Kettleson's remarks and that letter and feedback from some of Harvester's leadership, they decided that maybe this one probably better go to the Red guys. Now, skip forward to February of 1985, just before Case IH's first all-dealership meeting in Vegas, where the Red dealers and the Case dealers were introduced to this new company. And the loads of the tractors show up from Racine, and they're white. Now, leadership knows that if the Red dealers see white 94 series tractors, it's not going to go well. And they've got a week before the show to repaint them, and that's exactly what they did. They sent the paint out there with them. And it was all going fine until they ran out of paint 2 days before everything had to all be in place. So Roger Luno, the product specialist in charge, he gets on the horn and he starts calling around to local dealers, and nobody's got anything on the shelf. Period. None. He finally finds 6 gallons on the shelf at Keith Equipment down in Casa Grande, Arizona. And it's looking like he's going to have to drive down there and get it and then drive back. And that's, 12, 13, 14 hours, in the car. And it's going to put him behind schedule. And just as he's, kind of accepted his fate and he knows he's going to have to do this crop duster guy walks into Keith Equipment to the parts counter. And the guy on the other end of the phone says, wait, hang on a second. Let me try something. So I don't know what that guy said, the guy at the parts counter said to the crop duster, but it apparently worked because a few minutes later, that pilot marched out of there with, his parts and 6 gallons of IH Red, marched into his plane, taxied, flew it up to Vegas, met Roger Luno, and the rest is history. So the question that I'm left with is, I wonder if that guy understood just what he did for Case IH. Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.